Coach, your thoughts on tonight's victory?
Obviously, I have a lot to smile about. Penn State advancing for the first time in school history. But that team that I saw in Florida State tonight, I haven't seen a team like that in college soccer in a long time. With the skill, the athleticism, the coaching, player for player, I'm not sure I've ever seen a team I've got more respect for, and the work that they put in this season. So I just want to congratulate Coach Krikorian and his staff for the job that they did. They proved over the course of the season that they were the best team in college soccer. But if we knew before the game how the game was going to end, we wouldn't play it. And I thought the determination of our Penn State squad tonight was unparalleled. And they obviously represented our university in a fine fashion, and I'm incredibly proud of the three that sit with me here right now and our entire squad that played before you tonight.
Questions for Coach Walsh or the student athletes, please raise your hand. Graham.
Christine Grant, Hayes and Erin. How did you see that last play kind of unfold? How conscious were you of trying to stay onside on that play?
To be honest, I don't really remember the play. I think I pulled him out of Evans and blacked out. But we have been trying to counterattack them, and I think Em Hurd or Corey Chapman played the ball forward, and we just picked it off higher up on the field, which is our goal. Played the ball to Maya. She does what she does. And Maddie Evans with the blue collar mentality that she has running down that ball when she might not have gotten it, and just trying to put the ball in the frame, to score obviously. And I kind of was just in the right place at the right time. They did all the hard work. I just tapped it in.
Was there any doubt in your mind that you were onside?
Yeah. I mean, before I really celebrated, I think I looked back and forth between the sideline ref, the sideline ref and the official, to make sure it went in. And then as soon as I didn't get a response out of those two, I just kind of ran away. Don't know where it went, but.
Third row here.
Tim Brittany, Soccer 365. Maya, were you looking for Maddie, or what were your thoughts?
I think I remember going down the left side, and the defender who was on me kind of shut down the end line, which is where I'd like to go, I guess. And so my initial reaction was to look for a cutback, and there was nobody there. But I did see Maddie kind of further off and without a mark. Her closest mark was behind her. So I kind of played it across, and she ran onto it, and she did a great job to drive it low and keep it low on the ground, especially with the ground being slick, and Christine put it in.
Over here in the corner.
Coach, Scott Baer from the Center Daily News. Can you kind of talk about your team's composure, losing the lead with 40 seconds left and still having the wherewithal to come out, play strong, and finish like you guys did?
Yeah, if you track this team over the course of the last 25 games, you'll see that we've faced all sorts of adversity over the course of the season. And it's led them with this belief that it doesn't matter what's thrown at them. You just see their shoulders go back. They take a second, they pause, they reflect, and then Christine Nairn steps up and leads the charge. And when we went into overtime, the staff got together, I looked over, and Christine's there right in the middle of the group, looking them in the eyes, giving them the poise, the composure, and all the confidence in the world to go into the overtime period and win the game. And when you can turn it over to your players and they can step up in those big moments, that's probably your proudest moment as a coach, and your work is done. Because soccer's a player's game, and when you can turn it over to them and they can step up, that's when your work is done.
Pete.
Coach, on the goal, I think people might overlook what Maya did on that pass. We were remarked on it in the press box. She's totally changed fields through the penalty area, and everyone knows her as a scorer, but she had a big part in that goal. Is that something that you guys practice and look for? Because for us, it didn't seem like a real conventional play to play it all the way over to Maddie like she did. Through any other thing, so many things could have happened.
There is a lot of talk in Forwards Club, which was deemed a few years ago when we were struggling to score goals with Katie Shepard and Danny Tony. Forwards Club was born out of that idea of training goalkeepers the way that goalkeeper coaches do, just a lot of repetition. And Ann Cook goes out with these guys every day and talks about keeping the ball on the floor. As you can see, we don't have Abby Wambach in the box. We've got Mal Weber and Maya Hayes, and they're outstanding at what they do, but keep the ball on the ground. So what Maya does and does so well is get herself to the end line and drive balls back. And that's a finish that that these players see every day because of the repetition that Ann Cook provides for them.
Coach, it didn't seem like Maya was getting a lot of touches in the first half, and then when she did in the second, everything seemed to start, it really opened up along the flanks, and you guys were able to move. Were you making a point to try to get her the ball and kind of be that point person up front?
To the contrary, we felt like Maya was going to have limited chances tonight, but we needed to keep her high and pressed on that back line in order to create those chances. I think Maya's determination and her ability to stay composed despite her lack of touches, I think that shows that's a sign of a great player. Is many great players get frustrated if they're not touching the ball, and Maya's discipline was outstanding tonight. She kept on that back line. She knew she was going to get an opportunity. It was only a matter of time. And when she does, she finishes, and that's my ace.
Keeping kind of Penn State's daily religion. Erin, we saw you just get kind of pounded with shots, I guess, today. How, going through the game, how, I guess, coming out of that last 40 seconds, what's going through your head? You know?
I mean, I'm confident in all the 10 players in front of me and all the players that come in off the bench. And as a goalkeeper, it's my job to keep the ball out of the net. So, I mean, I'm just confident in my team. I was confident that we were going to come through and get a result.
Scott?
Erin, I'm sure you've been asked this question a lot leading up to it, having to play Florida State, but now that you went through it, can you kind of talk about the emotions that you felt in the moment and then coming out with a victory against the team?
I think I'm just as happy to beat Florida State as I would have been to beat any other team. I think to bring any of my personal experiences into it would be kind of selfish of me, especially since our team's been doing so well and the attention should be on our team. But again, I'm just so proud of our team, and going to our first national championship, I couldn't be more happier.
Graham?
Erica, you talked about the team kind of mental toughness. Is that something that past Penn State teams you've had didn't have in the postseason, or didn't have to the same degree?
Yes, I can say that mental toughness is born out of a lot of training. We've invested time and energy into leadership training. We've worked with some of the professionals at Penn State. I think the athletic department has done a wonderful job, not only in the past year, but in over the course of Christine's 4 years, in creating Athletic Directors Leadership Institute and bringing in speakers and providing them with experiences and role models in order to deal with these moments. And obviously this past year at Penn State has been a challenging one, but we've talked about it so many times. We've come out the other side. These guys have been the front people. They've been the ones on the front line, and through it, they've grown together, and they're leaders. And what great opportunity for our young student athletes to grow into women.
Todd?
Todd Linder from the Union Tribune. Christine, I have to ask you, I mean, they carried the play the last 10 minutes of regulation. I mean, they were just all over you guys, then they score. How do you guys possibly come back mentally from that? Coach was talking about you kind of being a leader between the regulation and extra time. What were you saying? What were you thinking?
I don't think I could say exactly what I said. I just think back to where we've been and where we want to go. We come from the Big Ten Conference, which isn't always the most pretty soccer, and it's all about the battle. And I think that's what took us above Florida State this game. We might not have played the prettiest soccer, like I said, but we had the grittiness. We were diving all over the place, defending with numbers. I just think we had. I guess we played as a team, and I think that's why we were successful. But as we went in after they scored, we were a little disappointed because, like you said, there was 40 seconds left. But we've been there before. My sophomore year, I think we scored with 17 seconds left, and and we have models in the national team, playing until that absolute last whistle. So we have that kind of in the back of our mind at all times, that all we need is 17 seconds to score. So we were we panicked for a little bit, but we got our head on straight after they scored and after we took the field again and buried them in, I think, in the first or second minute.
If I can follow up and ask you, halftime, you guys are going in the second half, you guys are out there dancing, they call me maybe, doing a little circle. I mean, that's pretty loose for a team, tied at halftime. leadership. Can you speak to why that is you guys are able to do that and then will involve this pressure?
That's our team. You know, we play best when we're having fun, and some say it's cocky, but if that's what gets us to play, then we'll do it. You know, when we have smiles on our faces and we can look around and bring a smile out of another teammate, that's when we're playing our best. So whatever we need to do.
Who's the best answer?
Coach.
Yeah. It's not your song.
Coach, I think, as Christine mentioned the Big Ten, I think you might tell me here, you might be the first Big Ten team going to an NCAA final. Is that my forgetting someone? I think.
Yeah, I've only been in the conference for 6 years, but
I'm pretty sure. But anyway, could you share with us, I mean, you mentioned how the first time for Penn State to get there, I know in 05, they got it by Portland in PKs. I believe that was Christine Sinclair, one of the greatest players ever. But have you heard from some of the alums, Christy Welsh or some of the former grades? Give us a sense of what a big moment this is for the alumni and for the program in general.
well, you've named a couple greats. We've heard from Allie Krieger and Alyssa Nairn, who are both over in Germany. Heather Tomko, that lost everything in Hurricane Sandy, literally everything, including her house and her car. Got all the alums together to send us poems and sayings, and I shared a little bit with them in our highlight film tonight, but I'll share more with them the next 2 days. I feel like I've heard from every alum in our program, maybe every alum in our university, which is the largest alumni association in the world. I came to Penn State to win a national championship and do it the right way. And I came to Penn State because I knew I would have the support. I walked on that campus, I met our athletic director, president, I met all the people that have inspired me, and it was the right place for me, and these guys followed. So there's no better place in the world to coach, and as far as I'm concerned, to be a student athlete, but they can talk for themselves.